Hello, Joel. How's it going?
Tim, I'm living and I'm loving, and I'm looking at your new setup here for those watching on youtube.com/TimandJoelPod. What do you got over there?
Well, tried reconfiguring the old command center. Took a little longer. I'm kind of in a waking nightmare right now. I'm sweating my balls off. The theme was playing. At some point, I couldn't hear it for monitoring purposes, but that's fine. You heard it. I'm here being warm. My monitor is angled at a very obtuse angle to me, and here I am, looking at the camera. And I didn't watch Raw.
Oh my God. So we're going to have a great show.
I mean, everyone kept talking about how friggin' bad it was. Like, how could I bring myself to spend moments of my life to watch that?
That's the problem. We are stuck in this weird feedback loop. And I talked about it on Twitter. That when WWE has 3 weeks to build to a pay-per-view, they can build it. Not well, but they can build it. The last couple of pay-per-views, this one included, they're having 5 weeks of build.
Yeah.
And instead of getting any stories out of it, they're replaying the same matches.
Yeah, they just keep wasting like the first 2 weeks by just revisiting the same thing over and over again. And like, you know, I didn't see it, but it seems like some things are carrying on while they're teasing other things. And I like some direction. Like the purpose of the pay-per-view stuff is to blow off feuds.
And to replay the same matches over and over again, as good as it can be, it doesn't matter, because guess what? If the wrestling is good, that's fine, but that's the point of your wrestling match.
Yeah.
That's the point of your pay-per-view match, is to build to an amazing wrestling match.
Exactly.
Telling the stories on TV is what we're after here.
Yeah, like, you know, for a long time, I didn't really watch the weekly shows because I could watch the pay-per-view and watch the awesome wrestling, which is like the focal point. But, you know, now that I'm here as a weekly viewer, I would like it to at least be engaging. Like what's the point of this? Like, not every... Here's a thought. You can progress feuds without having a match 1 week. People could just do backstage segments. They used to be pretty good at this. Like...
And listen, were there good matches last night? Yes. Was the wrestling good? It always is, because guess what?
Top
they
two
know how
talent.
to wrestle.
Yeah. Like, no one's getting there who's going to put on like a really bad match. It just doesn't happen. As much as people might like whine about any particular match or any particular wrestler, they ain't that bad. Like,
the problem becomes every single time Vince McMahon and Bruce and the rest of the crew are looking at what to do from point A to point B, they don't have an answer other than play it back with a different result. The different result being a DQ, or if we're going to 50-50 it. I can't tell you. You know how good last night's match with Shelton and Cedric Alexander was? It was an excellent match, Tim.
I'm sure it was, because like they're both excellent wrestlers, and given something with some actual meat to it, I think they could be actually great stars. But it seemed like they were going to do something and then not do something and now do something. It's just like this forgotten feud that Vince doesn't really want to pick up on. It looks like they're going somewhere with it now. It's going to be a very mediocre, probably second match on the card for Hell in a Cell.
Now, okay, going back 2 weeks ago, Shelton and Cedric had a match. Shelton won. I'm going to let you take a wild guess as to who won this match this week.
Cedric.
Exactly. Now we're 50-50ing everyone, as we're used to. Yep. And I'm sitting there saying, who the hell's going to get over? And I don't even care, because at this point, nobody is getting over and nobody's going to progress, because what are they going to do? Both of these guys could go for the United States Championship and have a great story with Sheamus, but they're not going to get there, because guess what? Nobody's getting ahead. Nothing matters.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing. They've put on a couple of good matches. They're going to get to the pay-per-view, and they're going to be kind of out of ideas, and they're going to kind of revisit what they've already done, and it's going to be good, but I'm going to care way less than I would have if they had have just not wrestled until the payper-view.
Before I go on, I see our friend Caleb is in the chat. It's actually Caleb's birthday today. Happy birthday, Caleb. I hope it's been a great one. A big 1-9. You'd be illegal to drink where we are. So hopefully it's a nice day for you. Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing in the chat, like, Xavier Woods had a really good match with Matt Riddle. Guess what? That doesn't shock me.
No.
But what does shock me is that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you want to talk about Matt Riddle. You remember he had a series of very good matches with Sheamus not that long ago, and then they did the same match at the pay-per-view. This is what I'm talking about. Like, it was...
They did this. They did the same match, except Sheamus kicked Riddle in the mouth.
Yeah, which made it all worth it. But like, it's still, they had the same beats. Like, they had the same program through all of those matches. Then they were very exciting because they had a lot of great spots. It's just, yeah. If all you're going to add is kicking a guy in the mouth, like, I don't want to see that 4 times. Like,
right. And so I understand the discourse today became wrestling media, or those who are following they hate watch everything. And I've been there. I get that. At the same time, I would rebut that it's not that we're hate watching. It's that we're trying to enjoy a product that we are tasked with telling people how it is. Like it's critiquing. And most of them, and I'm not a wrestling journalist. I'm a guy who talks about wrestling, with my friends on the internet. That's what I do. And most of the problem has been for me is that I want to enjoy it, but there's one show, glaringly so, that we have to talk about because it's the flagship and it's not good.
Yeah, and it's 3 hours long, and it's just like, I don't know. There's just so much bloody wrestling and so many wrestlers. It's like, when you're following a sport, I don't follow every damn team. And it's like, now I have to do that. And there's a team that just really, really sucks. And I still have to watch it for some reason. So,
yeah, I had this whole conversation this past weekend with people about those who follow sports to a certain amount where like their fandom is their entire livelihood. And if their team loses, then they get extremely upset, or they get, elated when their teams win and nothing else matters.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never been that type of person. I don't get that type of fandom. So for me, I'm a completionist, but this was the first week in a long time where watching Raw made it almost like a rage quit scenario. I don't understand why.
I mean, they set the tone early. Like, I did watch up until like right after the first match, which like was a very long segment to pay off in a very, very aggravating way. Like,
thank you. I heard a few people say, "Oh, it was such great wrestling." It's like, you spent 40 minutes building to nothing.
Yeah, no, and like the cuts back to where like Bobby and them were a waste of time to me. Like, I don't care. You show me it once, sure, but like you literally showed me like the same frames a few times, and then Bobby was like, to hell with this, and came out. Like,
it's ridiculous. I can't sit here and I don't want to sit here and just be negative the whole time. There wasn't really much to say about this. I like the fact that they're finally just calling them Lashley's ladies, because I know that we couldn't get away with calling them Bobby's bitches.
Obviously.
It's not 1999.
I mean, they could also just not do this bit, but whatever.
They could. That's true. I don't know why they doubled down this week. It was very strange.
I thought it was a one-off. I thought there was something to it. Like, I thought it was an homage to God. I assumed it was like Godfather's birthday or something. Like,
it was multiple things. It was a little bit of that. We joked about that in last week's show. It was also the fact that 5 years ago in TNA, that's what MVP and Bobby were doing. But it was also this when they did it last week. It was because Bobby retained his title in a 3-way match, and MVP backstage says, "I got something special for you, champ." Yeah. I don't know why we did it the next week.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Didn't need to, because they just took the script, blew the dust off of it, and said, "Here you go, do this again." Like,
and so I like that Kofi came out and at least said, "Drew, you had your rematches.
Yes.
Why do you think you deserve more?" And at least Drew is in a corner where he can't really. Okay, yeah, you're right. And Kofi hasn't had his rematch, a proper rematch for the WWE title that he lost on November 2018.
I mean, they're making me really dislike Drew. Like, when his music hit, I was like, please stop.
It's 2019, but anyway. Yeah. I don't understand it. Anyway, so next week we're going to get Drew and Kofi again because of the DQ last night.
Of course, because, God forbid they come up with something else.
They're going to come up with Reggie versus Shayna next week, too. I know that's
great. So we'll see the exact same match we've seen Reggie do twice now, where he flips around. There's no physical contact because WWE won't touch that with a 10-foot pole. And then Reggie's going to lose somehow.
My feeling is Reggie's going to win because Shayna's going to be given the stank leg from Lily.
Oh, my God.
And Reggie's going to win via roll-up.
So we're going to, like, Alexa and Lily versus Nia and Shayna?
Or just Lily versus Shayna.
If they make Shayna Baszler wrestle a doll, I don't know if I can do this anymore, Joel.
Okay. There once upon a time they used to say Ric Flair was so good that he could have a wrestling match with a broomstick and make it look good. This is literally them trying to say that Shayna Baszler is so good she can have a fight with a doll. Let's just let that be the reason. Okay?
I know I was excited for that last week. I don't know if I'm excited for it anymore.
I need to see what they do next week. I just have a feeling it's going to be that. Lily was backstage during the there was a segment in the back with the three of them, with Reggie and Shania, and I was looking around. I'm like, Lily's going to be somewhere somewhere random in the back, and I found her, and it was So that's what they're doing next week. There was a huge wall of flames, and Reggie got burned again, but doesn't because
his very sensitive eyes.
Yes. I want to like it. I sometimes do, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind the Reggie stuff, honestly. It's the Lily stuff. I'm open to where it goes. I'm sure it'll be fine.
And I see Michael in the chat saying he has put up with a lot in 30 plus years. And if Shane has to fight a doll, you might quit watching wrestling. I get it. I do. I don't think it's going to happen that way. I don't. I think Alexa's going to be really the keeper of the Lily, and Lily's just going to be the conduit through which the black magic flows. Not much better for you, eh?
It's fine. It's fine. So they didn't really progress it at all this week, other than the exact same thing they did last week.
What they did was they played up Shayna and Reggie having problems in the back. Shayna telling Reggie, stay behind, you keep costing us matches. Reggie came out during the match as expected. And then when she said, get the hell out of here, Reggie was scampering, going up the ramp, and all of a sudden a big wall of pyro goes up and gets in, and she gets... Yeah, she loses.
I love that Reggie's like this troublesome imp. Like he's like barely a human being, it seems, because the way they treat him, he doesn't have the intelligence of a fully grown man. Like,
well, you know what? We have it in the chat. Eva Marie was the highlight. I don't know if I'd call her the highlight, but I certainly think.
Oh, that's where I stopped. I stopped after her video package. Now she was supposed to show up, right? No. My God.
Now you saw the repeat from last week, didn't you? Because they played it twice. They keep doing this thing where they'll replay the last week's vignette, and then in the third hour play a new one.
It must have been, because it sounded very familiar, but like they've only been changing them kind of modestly from what I recall. So I don't know.
Right. This week was she's an athlete.
No, she's not.
She is. She keeps herself in really good shape. I get it.
That's not.
But she wants to train. Now it's like she looks good and she wants to train the next big thing. But anyway.
So is she a manager?
So on her vlog, which I discovered exists, by the way, Eva Marie has a vlog. She actually does a gear, like she's trying on her new gear, and I will give her this. This is commitment to the gimmick. They blurred out her wearing this new gear and like for her vlog because she still wants to make her return a big deal. They could have easily been like, this is her gear, and all of the news sites would have picked it up and been like, this is Eva Marie, what she's going to wear when she comes back to the ring. But no, she blurred it out, she censored it out, and I was like, that's great. That means she actually gives a shit about this, and I think she should, and I think she does, because these vignettes, they're not cheap to make.
No,
I mean, she's going out and she's doing them, and listen, you can love or hate the acting, but at least she's out there and they're doing them.
You're right. Now I hear it. She did. It was the I want to be a heroine like Angelina Jolie thing that I watched again. Which
that was last week's. Yeah.
I've never heard of you even being in a movie, but whatever. Like.
Oh yeah, no. Most of them weren't very good movies.
Yeah. Oh man.
And it's true in the chat. Like the real test will be how fans react to Eva Marie after Money in the Bank, because we're going to be. I don't know if you know this, Tim. Fans are coming back.
Oh yeah. How could I have not heard? Anyway, whatever. I'm away from a second vaccine.
Either way, July 16th, starting then, they're going to start bringing back fans and then do a tour and blah, blah, blah. So yes, the big question is it's not just how fans will react to Eva Marie, how will fans react to literally everyone that they've had a bubble around for the last year plus?
Yeah, I don't know, because now they're doing weird stuff with Drew. I'm a big Drew fan, but it is time to step away, and they're not letting him step away, and it's getting irritating. And now, like, Eva Marie keeps doing these deadpan things, and it might be okay if she does do some weird MLM scam if she's a heel. If the expectation is that she's supposed to be a face, which is like the vibe I'm getting from how they're presenting these packages.
Oh, stop. No. I hate that. I wish people would stop thinking she's a face. She's a delusional heel.
It has to be it, right? Like, it's the only thing that works.
Yes, and her whole thing is, I'm coming back because I am God's gift to wrestling. I am back because I want the second chance to show to you that I made it with or without wrestling, and I'm going to give back because I'm a benevolent human being. That's what it's going to be.
Well, and it would be easier to read if she put any emotion into it whatsoever. Like a coy smile, anything other than a stiff, dead face, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to, there you go. Caleb in chat saying she's a heel who thinks she's a face. Exactly. That's it.
I'm here for that.
Exactly. And so going back to like the 50-50ing with Cedric and Shelton, I just want to point out there was direction when they were a tag team in the Hurt Business.
Yes, it was good.
I don't understand why they couldn't be in the Lashley and MVP story right now. Why?
Exactly. They would have been great. They were fine. They could be doing everything they're doing now, except it would be less uncomfortable and weird that they've got this bunch of women.
Yeah, you could have Kofi Kingston against Shelton Benjamin. Kofi Kingston against Cedric Alexander.
You could do your weird every single week as a rotation match, like.
But you could have Kofi building up the ladder to get to the final boss where he eventually fails, and that's fine. Yep. But God, instead, we're getting the 50-50ing for them, and that's what really bugs the hell out of me.
Oy.
Asuka and Charlotte. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I also watched Rhea versus Nikki Cross, but my computer died before the finish. I assume Rhea beat her in 2 minutes.
Nobody beat the clock.
Why do they do these?
It was 2 minutes and that was it.
And then they just stopped wrestling. Okay.
That's the end of the match. Nobody wins. Rhea looks dumb. Nikki looks dumb. Everyone is just down a peg.
I thought it was weird when they were saying go beat her in 2 minutes. I didn't really expect them to put the clock on it. Like, I mean, I should have because it's WWE, but like they could have just gone out and had a match, and it could have been a real match, and Rhea could have not beat her in 2 minutes if that's the story you want to tell. And then even though she wins, Charlotte can be like, oh, but you took forever to do it. You know, something like that.
Everyone lost. Everyone loses here. It just doesn't matter. And I see in the chat, Cedric versus Shelton is a pretty simple story. The problem is it can be a pretty simple story because they're telling it with their movement in the ring. There is nothing else that creative is giving them that makes me think that they are going to have any upward mobility because A, it's 50-50 to death, and B, there is nothing that makes me want them to move forward or be successful because nobody's winning.
No, nobody's going anywhere. Like, WWE took the low-hanging fruit of breaking up a tag team, and rather than just shelving both wrestlers like they truly want to do, they're like, no, we broke up a tag team. We got to do something. So they're doing this, and then I bet you that we won't see Shelton or Cedric doing much of consequence for a little while. Maybe main event.
So Charlotte wins clean, but they do the stupid Shayna submission, the Shayna and the Io Shirai submission spot where they've got the Karafuda clutch on, and then they flip up and get the 3. That's the Shayna submission. Yeah. And so with Asuka, they've got her in the Asuka lock, and then Charlotte flips up and gets the 3 count. Okay, whatever. Now, I thought that Asuka winning last week meant that she gets a title shot against Rhea Ripley somewhere down the line. Did it not? Did they not put that out there?
I thought that's what it was too. I'm pretty wasn't it? Didn't Sonya say that?
I could have sworn that's what she said, and that's Now what we got? Well, I mean, listen. Now Charlotte wins clean, and now it's going to be Charlotte versus Rhea at Hell in a Cell, which we knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
Our general consensus between you and I was that we were going to see Asuka and Rhea on Raw somewhere in this 5-week period, in a good match, I hope.
Yep. But I mean,
but now Nikki's involved.
What do they have? Yeah. Nikki's involved now, which is something.
Taking victory laps.
I don't know what's going on. Like, Rhea's character is, you're a bully. This is why nobody likes you. Okay, cool. How many times do I have to hear that? Like,
yeah,
I don't care that she's a bully. Like,
Verk Watch is over. I don't know if you knew this, Tim. Adnan Verk today and WWE announced that they are parting ways amicably. I'm not kidding you either. This is legitimate news. The Adnan Verk experiment ends after 6 weeks, and that's
I didn't expect this to happen.
I expected it to happen when they were bringing fans back. I didn't think he would make it to the first live show.
Why don't they just try people out better?
That's the common problem here, is that, or not the common problem, the common consensus is that they took Adnan Verk, who has zero wrestling commentary knowledge, and they just dropped him into the prime spot of Monday Night Raw and said, good enough, go for it, because you called baseball. It didn't really make any sense.
No, why not, vet these guys and then, maybe do focus groups like most companies would do in doing a decision like this. I'm going to bet they didn't. Like,
so here's the reality. So Verk falls under Nick Khan, who is the WWE chief not operating officer. He's a chief. He's a
revenue
he's a
officer
C-class.
Or something.
He's a CRO. Yeah, he's the revenue officer. So he's in charge of. Anyway, so he had Adnan Verk under his last company, his talent agency. So it was almost like a make good for Adnan to come over to Raw. It was a.
Okay, so Smo Joe's gone.
Joe's gone. Joe. I mean, I don't want Joe. I want Joe to wrestle. I don't want Joe to. So you do this favor for Adnan, you bring him in, and then it only lasts 6 weeks. Now here's the other thing: Nick Khan has been in this position for less than a year at WWE. He's made some moves, but this is the first major on-screen problem he's had. He's had another one that some people know about and some people don't, and that is the in-house talent agency that WWE was trying to set up. That came and went in 5 weeks. Hired a bunch of people, brought them on, and then they cut it. They aren't doing it anymore.
They're still not allowed to do their Twitch shit though.
No, they're not. So that, I don't know how that's going to play out, and I do think that that's going to be a further conversation moving forward. They have their deal with Cameo, but like I said with Twitch, in 10 years, I would be surprised if Amazon and WWE had some sort of working relationship with Twitch.
My God.
So we don't really have anything to add with Verk Watch because unfortunately that's it.
It's over.
Wish him well. We wish him well. Like he's not a bad human being. He wasn't a fit for their product. And for those saying Tom Phillips coming back on Monday, that would be fine.
I'm down with that.
Tom Phillips was being groomed to be Michael Cole's next person. That's fine.
Fine with me.
I like him.
Yeah, he's great.
I don't think Graves will be doing play-by-play as full-time. I think he's more the wrestler with experience, so they give him color commentary. That's my feeling.
Yeah, he's got to be there to even out Byron.
Yes, exactly. It's Devil
the
and
dork
Angel.
to cool
really
ratio. Is. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Devil and Angel, leave us a like on the video, would you? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already at youtube.com/Tim and Joel Pod. Share this link with your friends. I cannot tell you, borrowing from Sean Ross Sapp's pitch, how much that helps when you share the link out and get your friends listening to us, because that is a big, big deal. It gets more people listening to us and hanging out in our chat room. Okay, let's talk about AEW. There's some good
because
stuff
I watched it and it was good, and I enjoyed it.
You want to talk about that rap from the Acclaimed?
Yeah. Golden. I mean, it gets a little tiresome that he comes out to the exact same beat all the time, but if you're going to put stuff like that in there, I'm fine with it. Killing it. killing it. And I mean, like, they even built up to it really well because the Eddie and Mox promo was pretty good, whereas like it's a rapper and the rapper's friend. Like
that promo was hilarious. I very much enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, listen, you don't diss a crazy man's pregnant wife. You just don't do it.
That was very funny. Hot start right off the bat with that match. Like, it was just a good match. Like Mox and Eddie together, choice. It's very, very good. Mox and Eddie in anything. It doesn't matter. Any configuration featuring them.
Your camera has gone again.
Oh no.
Oh no. It's not important. It's fine. Yeah, this is really the first time that Bowens had bars. Yeah. And I enjoyed it. It's funny, and the match was good. I enjoyed it. It was just it was a simple match. Mox and Kingston just beat the crap out of the Acclaimed, and that was that. Pretty straightforward.
Makes sense. Now they're the number one contenders.
Exactly.
I love how they justify. They're like, I think mathematics. Like, okay, yeah, fine. I don't care.
Listen, they had to get there somehow, and they
just do the match. Just do the match. It's fine.
Meanwhile, on the other side of things, you got the Young Bucks taking on the Varsity Blondes. Now, this did not go anywhere near the way we thought it would.
No,
because I thought this was a tag team eliminator match. Apparently, I was wrong, and this was a match for the tag team championships.
Yes. Yeah.
Did not know that. Very surprised.
I think you know what it was. It was because of the Pillman documentary. I think they were clearly making hay out of that, so they're like, well, let's give it a little bit more. You know, his profile's raised right now. So
yeah, and so as good as the match was, I mean, the match was great, and then once they became a tag title match, it was kind of obvious.
Yeah,
the finish would be the way it was. I like the Cold Spray angle. I like that Julia Hart getting it right in the face.
Yeah. Good heel work. Yeah, like, I mean, it's clearly just water vapor, but it's fun.
Oh, whatever. Shoe stealing. Would you ever steal a man's shoes?
No, I don't get why shoes have much value outside of the cost of the materials, but that's just me. I'm reading No Logo right now, and I'm just angry about shoes. So let's not go down this.
You're constantly angry. That's just the way it is.
I'm constantly angry about rich people and branding. So, yes.
Okay, fair. Listen, I like the match. It was fine, and it's all just to get Young Bucks and Mox and Kingston up to their match at Double or Nothing. Programming note for us, because Dynamite this week is going to be on Friday, I think we're going to cover it in SmackPack this week.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. Fine.
Because Double or Nothing is Sunday.
True.
So we'll talk about Double or Nothing next week.
It's a good lead-in. It makes sense, yeah. We're going to do our predictions.
Yes, we will do our predictions probably. Oh God, I don't know when. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know. Figure it out.
Maybe it'll be a separate video. That'll be that.
Probably, yeah.
This Friday, by the way, Joey Janela has a match with Hangman Adam Page. It's a rematch All in 2018. And if you remember that match, good on you, because you probably shouldn't after a dude with penis druid showed up. Yeah, we don't talk about that guy anymore. He's a piece of shit. All right, what else we got? We got Anthony Ogogo punching the shit at Colton Gunn's face.
It was his insides. He was coughing up blood.
I enjoyed it. It was short to the point. Keep that energy for Anthony Ogogo. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. He was just punching him in the tummy. Then he started coughing up blood. Then he grabbed the American flag to play keep away for half a second and then throw it back. I was like, okay. Great logo. He's got that great like Olympic logo. He looks good.
I had a friend. I won't call him a dork, but I think it was dumb. I praised the logo, and he decided to tag the Olympic Committee on Twitter, saying, "I hope they don't pull it down for copyright." And I said, "Why would you snitch tags the Olympic effing committee?"
Yeah.
What does that accomplish?
Bunch of corrupt SOBs who loved... Oh, man, I hate the Olympics, too. I hate a lot of things.
Everything that's not... Tune into Tim Hates Everything every Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
You know what I didn't hate? I don't hate that there is a go-go in a go-go's theme.
Yes, that's fair.
I thought that was delightful. I was like, yeah, they get it. They're gonna play off this as much as possible.
That's a Mikey Ruckus thing. Give him all the
best.
props.
He's so the best.
Very good. He did an interview actually on the AEW podcast on Unrestricted. It was really good. The dude is insanely talented and just an insane human being in the best way. I do recommend it.
Well, thank you for putting the Agogo in a go-go.
There you go. So this Friday we have the weigh-in between Cody and Anthony and Coco.
Oh, the weigh-in. I
The
saw
weigh-in.
that. I don't love the weigh-in. I find that silly. It's like, it's not a boxing match. You don't do weigh-ins ever for anyone. My suspicion, they're both going to go on the scale and it's going to say, a little bit doughy. A little bit doughy. Both of you.
I hope Cody goes on his and it just says, "Get rid of the tattoo."
Maybe Cody's going to get on. He's going to grab a towel and just like, lift himself up a little bit. A little Daniel Cormier. Just kind of cheat the scale a little bit.
Speaking of cheating the scale, Orange Cassidy, Don Callis, Kenny Omega, Don trying to get OC to remove himself from the match. First of all, I love the part where he just gives them the contract and Cassidy. I wish I had paper here. Cassidy just like slow drift it. All I wanted was the second time he gave him the contract for him to just do it again the exact same way. Yeah. And then for Don Callis just to reply, "I'll email you a copy."
Yeah. That would missed opportunity on that one. That was a great segment, regardless.
No Pac.
Yeah, there was a Pac. A little bit of Pac backstage, yeah.
Oh my god, I missed it.
It was very short. So he was in front of the Elite's dressing room for some reason. The Elite did not feature. Marvez was there, and he was just like, screw all the Elite. I'm coming to get the title. Who would bet against the bastard? What fool would bet against the bastard or something like that? But yeah.
Now I see the winky face in the chat and people saying, predictability in wrestling is a problem, but here's the thing. This three-way match is not something I care much about. But AEW has done everything they can to make me give a shit about Orange Cassidy and about Pac because they have both won enough matches to get themselves to the top of the rankings. And this is a time when they're using the rankings to make it make sense. Do I care about this triple threat? No, because they got there in the weirdest of ways. And quite frankly, Moose and Kenny Omega over on Impact is a much more enthralling story. And we talked about it on SmackPack this past Sunday. So I get what you're saying. I get the sarcasm. Yeah, Kenny's going to win.
Yeah.
But the match is going to be good. And they got there in a way that made sense.
Yeah, I got no problem with that. Most of the things we predict come true because some of them are pretty easy to kind of forecast. So, and it's, it's a delightful surprise when we're wrong. So
yeah, exactly. Well, we opened the show with Christian Cage and Matt Sydal.
Yeah.
In the Outwork Everyone Invitational Challenge.
Got to do it.
Solid match. It's fine.
Yeah, it was fine. Respect finish and then Taz having a hissy fit. You're gonna pay Christian for declining that business opportunity.
What now? Why would Christian join Team Taz? What does it have? Like, what does Christian have to offer to Team Taz? Because they've got they've got two muscle-headed guys. They've got Hook, and Hook is good enough for everyone. And they've got Ricky Starks who can dress and wrestle like a madman.
Here's the thing: Christian Cage would just be the Taz. Like what?
That's right.
What is the point of this? Yeah, I don't know.
Team Cage.
Yeah, like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And he didn't join them because what would be the point? And they started it being with like Taz has buried the hatchet about it, and then he throws that little hissy fit. And it's just like, okay.
Well, we all knew that.
He's just got to fight one of those like 4 or 5 people,
So what's the match at Double or Nothing? It's Christian Cage in the Casino Battle Royal. And Matt Sydal's there too. And pretty much all Team Taz is there. Except for Brian Cage, who is going to be taking on Adam Page in a rematch.
Yep.
Hangman comes out, hands Ricky Starks his drink, and goes and fights. I liked it. That was cute.
It was pretty cute, yeah.
There was nothing else really in that whole promo segment that really wowed me, but it was fine. It was
fine. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It was an opening spot, which again, like AEW's played with back and forth. Like, do we start like very, 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 very strong, or do we start like with a little bit of a warmer upper? This week was a warmer upper. Anything with Christian at this point is a warm up to me. So
yeah, I see it in the chat. Cage versus Cage in a cage fight. Absolutely.
Yes, please do that at some point. Like we should be building towards that.
I also want Ethan Page versus Hangman Page.
Yeah.
And one of them has to win with either the Rampage or the Page Turner.
And then later on we'll tag them up.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Screw Scorpio Sky. Sky can go for Miro's TNT title.
Exactly. Yeah.
Page and Page, Cage and Cage fight.
Yeah. Page and Page. Cage and Cage makes sense. We can get there pretty quickly because Cage was already like, ooh, I really respect Sting. So there's already been some fractures there. Maybe he fights Christian, respect, and then tag team. Cage. Team Cage.
What about Cage and Page versus Cage and Page?
Yeah, there you go.
That way you don't have to flip anyone's alignment. Ethan Page can team up with Brian Cage. They're both heels, and they can take on Hangman Adam Page and Christian Cage.
There you go.
Everybody wins. Put it in a cage. With a steel cage hanging above the ring. I'll do that. Yeah. And who's going to be in that little shark cage above the ring? Tez.
Okay.
Follow 5 foot Taz trying to call the action in a shark cage.
Just up there on his own doing commentary. Can't even hear anyone. Doesn't have a mic.
He's just talking to himself real loud. Listen, the man is loud enough for the entire borough.
You could hear him. He'd definitely be picked up by like the ring mics.
Speaking of promos and ring mics, we got the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle giving their promos. Pinnacle's in the restaurant. I loved Spears just losing his shit on a poor server.
I thought that whole segment was pretty fun. Like, I really liked how they did that. It felt special, you know. They had their little wine, and then he got to bully someone.
I didn't love it at first.
You didn't love Wardlow downing an entire bottle of wine and being completely fine?
I mean, I expect that from Wardlow. I respect the man.
Yeah, exactly. It's damn cool.
It was a good match. Not a good match. Sorry, it was a good promo. I enjoyed it the second time around. I think whatever they were coming off of after that segment just didn't do it for me. It was just a pacing thing for me.
Yeah.
But the second time around, watching it in a vacuum, it was much better.
Yeah, and I mean MJF outshines the lot of them, so there is that too. Like the second they open their mouths, it's just like, yeah, you're good too, but I don't know.
And then meanwhile, on the other side, you've got the Inner Circle who come out and they announce that they're going to do the match. They're going to do Stadium Stampede. And you're talking about each member of Pinnacle having to give their promos, and Mav versus MJF. Inner Circle all shine in this promo, except for Jake Hager. Who cares?
I didn't think Sammy was that good either.
I thought Sammy was pretty good. I think he can hold his own. Okay. He's gotten to the point where he is beyond the Inner Circle, in my opinion.
Yeah. He's talented in ring and he'll get there. But then they did another promo with him, and I thought he was coming out for a match, but then he didn't, and then it turned into the Miro segment, I think
or the main event.
But like, what? Why did he come out with those stupid signs?
That was a callback. He used to do that in 2019 before
that
fans were around.
No, that I know. I just don't know why they did a second Inner Circle promo to say functionally the same thing.
Oh, that's true. They've done that before. Like, they literally just did that with Blood and Guts, where Sammy gives the promo saying he's going to go first, and then that commercial break, Sammy Guevara comes out with the cue cards and says, "I'm going to be the first man in Blood and Guts."
Maybe that's. I was watching a feed that didn't have the picture-in-picture. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, listen, the Inner Circle breaking up just sounds right to me.
Yeah, I can't wait. I hope it happens.
I don't care about
do their dumb handshake. We can watch their best moments of a thing that's only been around for like a year.
Listen, I don't care what Jake Hager does. I don't. Yeah, but the rest of them are ready to be on their own. Sammy Guevara versus Miro for the TNT title works great.
Yeah, that sounds amazing to me.
LAX versus literally anyone on the tag team circuit. Wonderful. Let's do that.
Yeah, they can be the tag team they were supposed to be. Instead of Jericho and Hager.
Post Fozzy tour, babyface Jericho with new music. For the love of God, he's got a new single coming out. Just make it that.
I doubt it. They're gonna keep it. It's a good thing now. We're gonna have to listen to drunk idiots poorly sing Judas for the next 10 years at least.
It's better than listening to people who do Cody's music, sing it live, and they're professional musicians. Anyway, I want to see Jericho, let's say versus Christian. Maybe against or taking on Team Taz, just something like that. Jericho doesn't need to be in the AEW title contention. He can have other stories going on when he comes back from the Fozzy tour.
Yeah, totally.
Sure. So this Friday, they're going to do the celebration of the Inner Circle. I wonder if we're going to be hitting that a little bit harder than expected because the Inner Circle is going to break up come Sunday. I don't know.
I don't know. I could see them winning too. because they do they lost the last Stadium Stampede, and knowing Jericho's ego, man, I don't know.
Well, we'll give our predictions sometime soon before Double or Nothing. Miro promo, Lance Archer, Miro. We were right. First of all, we knew Lance Archer was going to be the next guy.
Yeah.
But one thing we talked about last week on the show was Miro getting himself over, despite, given the fact that Darby was so over during his TNT title reign. And then Miro had to attack it quickly and do well. And he did.
Yeah, this was a great promo. Like, I saw someone complaining, like, talking about his mic skills and, like, his English. But, like, honestly, his kind of broken English really works because, like, he's just an angry brute. Like, yeah. And, some of the stuff he says might not make the most sense, but he doesn't need to speak English to kick your ass. Like,
exactly. It's not, he's not there to speak perfect English.
No, he's Bulgarian, and that's a big part of his identity. So having it be very, like, visible and audible makes sense to me. So, like, why even work on it? Like, he sounds great. He cut a good promo. You knew damn well what he meant. Like,
Timmy thanked Jesus.
He did thank Jesus Christ for making him more aggressive and violent than anyone else. And I was like, I think maybe I don't know, might be the wrong guy. I don't know. He did beat up those bankers that one time, but.
See, everybody wins and everybody dies. And we're going to see if Lance Archer kills Miro, because they're going to have a match at Double or Nothing for that TNT title. I'm excited. Both men cannot lose. They can't afford to lose, but I think they can, tell a good story without
what they
losing
can do
stock.
To make that right is leverage Jake. Like, make Miro go far enough to, like, threaten to beat down an old man.
Who wouldn't want that? Because this Friday, Miro is going to beat the shit out of Dante Martin.
He sure is. I was like, oh, they got a named competitor. Oh, that poor boy.
That poor boy is right. Fine, sure, whatever. It'll be a good match. It'll be a squash, and then I assume Archer will come out in the post-match, and we'll see where it goes.
Yep.
Can we talk about the NWA Women's Title match?
Oh, can we ever? Great match.
Red Velvet. So good. What did you like?
I like the knee work. I liked Serena Deeb doing all the knee work, and the finish was really good, where she just, like, smashed her knee on the canvas a few times. Red Velvet still sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I like her or dislike her. She, like, really woofed that spot off the apron, nearly, like, broke her wrists.
Yeah. Oof. So here's the thing. Red Velvet is getting so much better because you know what Red Velvet has that nobody else has in AEW? She has 24-hour access to one of the greatest wrestling coaches of all time, and that's Gerald Briscoe.
Oh, really?
Because her husband-to-be is Gerald's son.
Oh, yeah, okay. So she is, like, getting much, much better. I noticed, I don't know if I just missed it, but I didn't see the, like, mixing it up thing this time.
She did it.
She did do it. I hate it.
It's a gimmick. I don't love it, but I get it.
Gimmick. But whatever, it's fine. It was a great match. It was a very, very good match. It's good to see Serena Deeb back, and, like, I thought it built really well. The pacing was good, and the knee stuff really, like, sold it.
Yeah, Serena Deeb just bending over Velvet's leg at the end of that match in that submission spot. It was great. Yeah. And again, Serena Deeb is a ring general herself. And going back to the NWA, I was just watching Power. It's their season finale. It's not good. Camille and Thunder Rosa's loser stays in NWA match. Guess how it ended?
Camille lost.
It was a 20-minute draw, Tim.
Wow, that show sucks.
Nobody won.
So does that mean they both have to stay?
Means everybody stays forever and ever, and nobody ever gets over. My God, they're raw lights.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man, I sorry if you were gonna watch NWA Power. My God, and you know what? People in the chat talking about, like, how Serena Deeb wasn't used by WWE. So Ty Conchi was on AEW Unrestricted as well this past week, and she was talking about her time in WWE and how she was unhappy. Now, the way that WWE teaches and educates and does their job isn't going to work for everyone.
No,
it's not.
They also sign everybody, so
they do.
It's tough to use everybody. Like,
yeah, like I get it, and they have their style and it works for them. It doesn't work for everybody. And if the whole gimmick is that you want to go to WWE, which is like every kid's dream, if you were a wrestler or you're training, that's what you want, then you go. But it's not always going to work out for you because you're not always going to get the job or the position that's the your childhood dream is not going to always play out the same way.
Sometimes you're just Scotty too hotty, you know?
Scotty's a coach at the PC.
Exactly.
So,
But do you think he was dreaming of being Scotty too hotty when he was a kid?
I think he was happy to get the paychecks he got with Too Cool.
Yeah, exactly. And they all end up just fine. So like, don't worry about it. She might not have been running for championships, but she was still getting paid, you know, like they all do. So,
and that's the thing. Like Serena Deeb, she's also at a certain age where she's not going to be put on WWE TV that often. You know, she was in Straight Edge Society. She had a great showing with that angle with CM Punk and Luke Gallows. I forget who else was Joey Mercury part of that. Either way, it was just that stable worked, and that was a time when Deeb was was on all cylinders. It's good. What wasn't on all cylinders was Hikaru Shida and Rebel.
Yeah, it was meh.
It was meh. Story was told, but it was kind of boring.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
Friday we celebrate 1 year. 1 year of Hikaru Shida as the women's champion, and we'll give our predictions very soon as to what happens to Shida and Baker in their match. Also Friday, Jade Cargill's Open Challenge. That'll be something.
Yay!
Who do you think she's gonna face? I'm gonna say Julia Hart.
Squash. Yeah.
Squash match. Also on Friday, Uno Grayson, Dark Order, going to take on Scorpio Sky Ethan Page. Mazel tov to Ethan Page, by the way. Having a baby boy is on the way. He just announced that last night. The wife is pregnant. Very nice to hear. And finally, because they're going to come out, I assume we'll see Sting. We're going to have Darby Allin and Cesar Bononi on Friday nights. Cool.
Yeah, I expect. Okay.
and I'll shout out Cesar Bononi as well because his wife is currently there's a GoFundMe up for his wife who is dealing with some cancer treatments.
Was it sister-in-law?
Was it sister-in-law or was it wife?
I thought it was sister-in-law.
I'm sorry, Chad.
I don't know.
I'm going to bungle this. I apologize. Either way, we wish them well. They've hit the goal on their GoFundMe. They continue to solicit donations. So go to GoFundMe. Look up Cesar Bononi. Go ahead. Let's get to NXT, shall we?
Yes. I also watched it. Good. It was sister-in-law.
We usually. Oh, it is sister-in-law. Good. Wonderful. Not good, but I'm glad we got that sorted. The main event. Let's talk about that steel cage. Bronson Reed, Johnny Gargano. A very solid, well-paced match.
It was really good, and Bronson was able to do some stuff that to me was inventive. I don't know. I'm sure it's been done, but everything's been done before. But like just getting in between Johnny and the ropes and just like standing there to squish him up against it was great. Johnny had a great showing, like the door opening bit and constantly being pulled in, and then that finish where he just like closes the door to get the pinfall victory was awesome.
Just flung Theory outside or from the cage outside. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Austin Theory playing spoiler. I mean, It was just good heat. It was good. Tsunami, top rope, not from the top of the cage because that ceiling is very low at the PC. I don't know if people understand that.
That's fair. Like, I expected a big spot, but it was good. The whole match was solid, so you don't need, I think, to nearly kill yourself every single time.
They did it twice with the tsunami, or at least those big spots, so it worked out.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny's Poison Rana, by the way, that was excellent.
So
I did not expect it.
Right? Out of nowhere.
Yeah. Out of nowhere is right. I don't know. I saw it and I was like, okay, there we go. We're going to hear from Bronson Reed tonight on NXT. I assume Johnny Gargano is going to somehow find his way into the NXT title picture very shortly.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I think that's where we're heading because we talked about that last week. You can go back and watch us talk about all that stuff. Speaking of stuff we talked about when we got right, Hit Row.
So good.
Tag titles.
Oh, they're so good. Top Dollar was excellent. Oh my God. Was not expecting that.
And Adonis as well.
Yeah.
We've seen Ashanti. We've seen Adonis a bunch of times.
Exactly.
But them as a tag team, great.
And it really works. Like it really works as a stable. Like there's so much you can do with that.
So the smartest thing I think WWE did with investing in AJ Francis, Top Dollar, was putting him on that show, that WWE Treasures show,
Yeah.
because he gets to do all of this work with legends of wrestling. Like he's done stuff with Sergeant Slaughter, with The Undertaker, with Kane. He's done stuff with Stone Cold and Booker T. He's literally put himself in the best position to learn from all of these wrestlers on his off time, in addition to what he does at the PC. So
Yeah.
he has been given all of the tools and all of the opportunities to run with. And so far, I think he's hitting the mark.
Yeah, I would say so. Like I feel excited about this, honestly.
I like the idea. I like the idea of putting all of the titles on Hit Row except for the NXT title.
Yeah, 100%.
Let the NXT title be the thing that turns Swerve against Hit Row. That he fails maybe once, twice, 3 times, I don't care. But it get that, and I'm talking like a year or two down the line.
Yeah.
That eventually just doesn't compute and they're done, or it causes so much tension that they lose all their titles. Kind of like Undisputed Era, but a little different because they'll have finally a woman in this big Hit Row team. I love it. Tag titles?
Legado going for it now, yeah?
Yep, next week.
Yeah, beat up Thatcher and Ciampa. Surprised on that one, but good.
So last week we saw Legado del Fantasma and Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher in what is Drake Wuertz's last match on NXT, because fuck that guy. It was a solid match. It was good. It was clunky at times. Legado gets the win with help from GYV, because I'm assuming GYV is going to get Ciampa and Thatcher, and the winners of that match get MSK at In Your House.
Yeah.
Because MSK are going to beat Legado del Fantasma next week. Which is my birthday, by the way.
Hooray!
Next Tuesday is my birthday. Buy me nice things. Or just say nice things. I don't care. Tony Stark. Tony Storm, Zoe Stark. I read the top and the bottom of my notes.
I mean, that finish, like that was such a, like, everyone was talking about it immediately. Like it was great. It's a great move.
Yes, whatever it was supposed to be, it looked harsh in the best way.
Yeah, and it's good because I think Tony needed something like that. So
yeah, and so they both look good. Tony Storm couldn't really get beat again, because then you're just downplaying Storm. And I'm not really concerned about 50-50 in this case, because Stark won the first match, Tony Storm won the second match. Yeah, but because of how Storm was used and the way Stark was moving up, it was just, there were trajectories involved. It wasn't just rematches for the sake of rematches.
Yeah, Stark can stand to like lose and win a little bit. Like she's the new person on the block, right? She's not being built like Saray, so it's fine. Ups and downs. They've got a deep roster, so she's going to sit at like an undercard position for a little while, I think.
So this week, Frankie Monet debuts. Tonight.
Finally.
My God. She came out post-match after the Storm and Stark match. What do you think? Is it going to be Storm and Monet to build up a Storm win versus a Monet win? Maybe it's Stark, but Stark losing again doesn't really work.
It's a bit odd, and like even Storm and Monet is odd, right? Like they're both kind of heelish. So
let's see. I'm going to see if NXT has posted anything about a match officially. I don't think they have, but in her debut, they're just doing the debut. I can see it being Monet and Zeta Ramir.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Like someone squashable, you know.
and because Zeta and Zoe Stark are friends, once Monet beats Zeta Ramir, maybe Stark comes out, challenges, and we're going to build. So Monet and Stark at In Your House would be the match that I would do.
Yep.
Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf, and what is Alexander Wolf's final match? Because Alexander Wolf gets released the next day.
Yeah.
In fairness, Wolf's contract was expiring, and he was told that he was not getting renewed. So this was actually probably the best way to write him off.
Yeah, you could actually use it instead of it just being a sudden disappearance and a broken storyline, or no storyline for months on end, and then you're just gone. So,
in the terms of business, he got paid for the rest of his contract and his 30 days, and they flew him back to Germany. They flew him home.
Awesome.
So it was very good. I was really happy with that. Now it's time for Dane to join Imperium, which is something we've been talking about for literally 3 months.
Yes, please.
So whatever. Where's Walter? That's what I want to know. Vaccine rates are up.
You know,
Time
I
to
don't
come
know.
back.
He's on the tablet now and then.
Yeah, exactly. Could you imagine? Oh God. Next they're gonna put him on a robot wheeling
Yeah, yeah,
himself
yeah,
around.
yeah. We had one of those in my office. It never got used for anything.
Amazing. Oh, you know what? Those things cost a lot of money, and you know
They
what else
do.
costs a lot of money? The $1 million belt.
Oh, got it.
We, by the way, I'm sorry, Andrew Zarian, from Mad Men podcast. I like Mad Men. They've broken a lot of really good stuff lately. They broke the NXT on Tuesdays gimmick. They broke that fans were coming back and the Money in the Bank stuff, and that's great. Now they're saying they are telling us the $1 million belt is coming back to NXT.
Yes.
But you know what? We called it first.
We did call that first. It was based on nothing and conjecture, but we called it.
We called it.
Yeah.
We didn't call Limo Doors versus Cameron Grimes last week, though.
That was smooth. That was so smooth. It's fine.
He did a good
great
job. It sucks that everyone noticed, though, and everyone had to bring it up as if they were like, "Oh, this is great wrestling psychology."
No. You know what happened? Like, Ted DiBiase didn't lock the door, and then Ted DiBiase quickly yanked the door shut. That's what happened.
There, perfect. Done. Grimes and Jake Atlas, though, the match, it was solid. It was fine. I need Jake Atlas to get a win and start his build, but as we saw with Swerve, it takes some time.
It does, and he's got so much talent. He's not going anywhere. They're going to keep using him here and there, and eventually he'll develop a character. And
before we get to the main event, we've got Dakota Raquel versus Shotzi and Ember. Sure, why not?
Yep.
We're just gonna tease more to the Dakota and Raquel breakup. After last week, they said we're friends. We fight sometimes. We have disagreements. Please, one of them just beat the other one up.
Raquel's going to beat up Dakota.
I hope so. Bobby Fish is back. We talked about that, and he's going to take on Peter Dunne tonight on NXT.
Didn't take long to get there.
Nope.
he made it sound like it was going to take a while, but no, he got rated.
He's going to right all his wrongs in the first week. Peter Dunne saying that he basically placed himself atop NXT in that interview with Arash Markazi this past week.
Yeah, which
I enjoyed that.
Math on that doesn't quite work, but it was a good interview.
Oh, whatever. Give them all the titles, I guess. Fish, I guess, needs the win, but I assume that Cool Kyle and Oni Lorcan get involved somehow. Just what I expect. And then what? Let's say Fish loses because of Lorcan, and then Kyle shows up late or shows up afterwards.
Yeah, I could see. I don't know. Maybe it ends up being Fish and Cool Kyle. Because maybe Cool Kyle accidentally cost him the match or something. But
oh, my goodness. It looks like Tyrus won the Battle Royal to face for the 10 pounds of gold.
Oh my God.
I think so. That's what I think. That's amazing. Because if it's true, then we're one step closer to what I said was going to happen. And then finally, as we get to the exits, Cross versus Balor 2.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Yep.
Is this the night Adam Cole returns, baby?
I hope so. Because I'm not super hyped about this match. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, I
don't think they have a ton of chemistry together. I didn't, it was fine. Nothing wrong with it.
I hear you. I kind of agree. Do you do a triple threat in your house? Would you do a triple threat?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but maybe even more. I don't know. I could see them doing like a more like you've got a few people who are reasonable competitors for it right now. So
seeing people talking about Balor heading back to the main roster after this, I mean.
He was talking about it. He said it. He wants to go back to SmackDown or Raw because he thinks the Demon character has like more play to it. It's like, just be Finn Balor.
I mean, the Demon only came out when you were pushed to your extremes.
Yeah.
This match, unless he brings it back tonight, he hasn't been pushed to his extreme yet. So I don't know. I think the match will be fine. It's been a well-hyped match. Cross and Balor too, sure. I just think the Cross wins, and it'll probably be a clean finish. If it's a clean finish, then Balor's probably gone.
Yeah.
If it's not a clean finish and Adam Cole comes back, then I think we're looking at a triple threat. And it could be a way to get the title off of Cross to send Cross up to Raw instead. But then you're stuck with the same people on top again. It's Balor, it's Cole, it's Gargano. And now you've got Kyle and then Peter Dunne. I don't know what you can do.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Either way, it'll be a fun match. NXT starts now. Tim, where can the kids find you on the internet?
Kids can find me at Tim Stonep, TimbStonep on Twitter.
We are at Joel. No, we're not. We're at Tim and Joel Pod everywhere. YouTube.com/Tim and Joel Pod. If you're here and you're hanging out with us, drop a like. Share this whole gimmick with your friends. Tell them to come and watch Tim and Joel Pod with us. We're here every Tuesday night at this time, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're also every Sunday at noon Eastern, and we're going to have more content for you soon. I am at Joel Pearl. Go watch NXT, and we'll see you on Sunday. Cheers, folks.